All right. I think we're on now. Okay,
Awesome.
so Alex, before we start talking about your project and stuff, why don't you just tell us a little bit about yourself?
All right, yeah. So my name's Alex Bentley. I'm a senior at Wofford College in Spartanburg, South Carolina. I'm studying biology and Spanish, and I plan to go into a career in herpetology, which is the study of reptiles and amphibians.
That's pretty cool. So, how did you
Yes.
get into this field? What made you so interested in reptiles that you're pursuing a career in it now?
Um, well, when I was a kid, I stumbled upon a snake, and it just really fascinated me. And so ever since then, I've really had a passion for reptiles and amphibians as well. And I just really enjoyed observing them in the wild, and always been very curious about them, and always, wanted to know more about them, especially snakes. They're very
Okay.
mysterious creatures. And so it's something that's just kind of lasted. Yeah.
Okay, that's really cool. That's a cool story. All right, so now just explain a very brief overview of kind of what you're doing with your project right now.
Yeah, so my project is involves GPS tracking rattlesnakes, and so timber rattlesnakes is the species that I'm working with, and I'll be tracking them using GPS transceivers, which are different from the conventional method, which is radio telemetry. And so this is kind of a new approach. The technology has just now gotten small enough to where you can put it on a snake. And people within the last few years have started experimenting with this and seeing what can be done. And so I'd like to do the same thing with these rattlesnakes. And the first part of the project, I just really want to see how viable GPS tracking is, and compare that to radio telemetry. So the snakes will have both units on them, and I'll be able to compare the GPS to the radio transmitter, and see how data collection compares and everything.
Okay, so what you're talking about is how in the past we've had to go out with those antenna and listen to the beeps and stuff, but now you're the first person to say, hey, why don't we try GPS for the snakes?
I'm not the very first person. Nobody's published on it yet. I
Okay.
know of two other groups, one working with Burmese pythons and another working with a venomous snake species in Australia. Those two other people have started trying this as well. Nobody, to my knowledge, is doing it with rattlesnakes, though. And so, exactly, radio telemetry. You have that antenna out there, and you're following the beep. But this is a data logger that's going to be on that snake, and it uses satellite communication to actually pinpoint the location of the snake. And these units even have an accelerometer in it, which allows you to gather data when the snake's moving at certain times. It has a thermometer in it as well. So the scope for data collection is a lot wider here, which is why it really interests me.
Oh, that's really cool. So, like, once you collect this data, what are you planning on doing with it? What kind of things are you looking for with these snakes?
So this first stage, I really just I want to see how well the technology works. So, kind of testing that out. And if that goes well, I want to start asking biological questions, down the road. And I'm really interested in the interactions between geographic shifts and rodent densities in the forest, and rattlesnake foraging patterns and their movements, and how those two things correspond, and also how variation in masting of trees and species composition of trees may affect where the rodents are going. So it's kind of those three levels of interaction. I want to see possibly what's going on there. And those are questions that I'll start to answer down the road, hopefully.
Okay, that sounds really cool. So, how can the public out there, those guys that are watching, how can we help out and support your project?
Well, I've run a crowdfunding campaign to raise money for this. And it's the project, or the campaign is called GPS My Rattlesnake. It's on Indiegogo, and it's still open for donations if people want to contribute. Supporters of the project actually have the opportunity to select a snake to kind of follow and receive select information about. So it's a great way for the public to engage in real research. and see how this kind of stuff works on the ground, and also get a little bit of a view into the life of a snake, which is a very unique opportunity as well.
Awesome. All right, well, you guys heard him. Link to that will be in the description, so definitely go check that out. Alex, thanks so much for coming. It sounds like a really awesome project, and I hope it goes well.
Thank you, man. Thanks for talking with me. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, no problem. All right, have a great day.
Yep, take care.